Anders Carlson has this teed up, ready to get started.
And we are underway from MetLife Stadium.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Got his man, it's Warren.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Here's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Warren. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Now Hall to start the drive.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now Fields. This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Fields.
That's into the hands of Reynolds.
Now 2nd and 3. A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Throw left side complete. That's Taylor. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Back to throw, Fields. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Throwing again is Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Fields. And Lazard's got it again. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. To throw is Fields. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Here's Fields. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 27 yards. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll run it. Warren.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
From the gun, here's Fields.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Fields now to throw. Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Option play, here's Hall.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
3rd and 2. Now it's Fields.
Flushed out right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it.
They snap it to Fields.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this all the way inside the Jets' 20 into the red zone. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now it's Rodgers. He finds his man complete. That's Warren. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Rodgers. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Now Rodgers.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. Give to Hall running right.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Operating from the gun, Fields. That is caught. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete, right side to Lazard. Second down and 6 now. Hall on a give up the middle. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2 yards still to go. Third down now. Back to throw. Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. Hall again. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run with Hall. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And they'll bring out Anders Carlson now to try the field goal. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Here's one.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
And the Jets will take over. New York ready to go again offensively.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Hall again.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Up the middle they go. Warren fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's 3rd and 9.
Rodgers now to throw.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, it's Warren. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
A shotgun snap. Fields.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be out right at the 35. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
2nd down and a yard. Out of the gun, Fields. Throwing quickly to Wilson.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
2nd and 10. To the air again, Fields. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Rodgers going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. To throw is Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got his man. It's Warren. So the completion gets him just a yard. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We got an excellent first half from the dynamic quarterback, Justin Fields. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jets offense and quarterback Justin Fields heading back out there. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's a give to Hall. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. A give running right is Hall. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. They'll give to Hall. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9. Lazard will go in motion right. Now it's Fields. That's complete to Lazard. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Off play action, Fields. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's Fields. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. Back to the ground with Hall. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. From the gun, here's Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick if indeed they end up trying one.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and that'll bring them back within 4. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jets offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 1. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He dumps this one off here to Hall.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw is Fields.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
A handoff for Hall. Halted in his tracks by Keanu Benton.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5. Fields now to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
On the draw, it's Hall.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a 4-point game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On the give, it's Warren.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jalen Warren.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers have taken the lead here this third quarter.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Hall. And he'll have a Jets first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Fields.
Escaping the... And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. Third time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, want to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Lazard will go in motion right. Throwing on second and long. Fields. That's complete right side to Lazard. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. Back to throw. Fields. This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Rodgers.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
But they need to make something happen for a chance at a comeback, and I'd say that qualifies. They took advantage of the play-action pass by the offense, ran right through it, and got a big sack in a big moment.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A handoff for Warren. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Paul on a give up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6.
On play action, now Rodgers.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Rodgers now to throw.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now Fields.
He gets this into the hands of Taylor. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Now it's Fields. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Austin. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
On play action, Rodgers. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Woods. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
18 more yards there and another 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Will McDonald able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So out now come the Jets.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Fields. And check down, complete to Hall.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They'll run here with Hall.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Here's Allen. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Outstanding that time from Keanu Benton. Got in there and hit him for a loss.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Here's Fields.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line.
Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Here's Fields.
Caught by Wilson.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Fields now to throw.
He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understand where they are in the field?
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. Fields.
He'll find his man. That's Taylor again.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here's 2nd down. All eyes on Fields. He'll get that one to Taylor, complete.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
A big play here. 3rd and 2. They'll run with Hall.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow! Wow!
Charles, what a big drive late in the fourth quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. But I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the fourth quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
Carlson's extra point up and good.
And that will make this a 4-point game.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down 17-13, 34 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Rodgers to throw.
Got his man, it's Woods. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. Back to throw, Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And that won't help much, only a yard on first down.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9.
To throw is Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long.
Now Rodgers.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.